Yeah.
What else is up, man? What else is going on with you, man?
Oh man. Besides that, well, Last Dance is done. Also, Last Dance is done. So,
That's done. Thank God.
man, it's one of the best sports documentaries ever. So, but I was kind of glad it was done though, because it was literally just taking up 2 hours of my Sunday night. So
Man,
I'm glad
dragging.
it's done.
Yeah. Y'all was so into that shit. The whole world. It's like,
Yeah.
is it that good because it was that good? Is it that good because it was Michael Jordan? Or is it that good because there are no other sports for you to watch?
The easiest answer I could tell you is all of the above. It was a perfect storm. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what I don't like about it. I don't like that, in my opinion, towards the last 4 or 6 episodes, it seemed to shift away from being about Michael Jordan and gave way too much attention to Steve Kerr, in my opinion.
You towards which episodes? Like the last two episodes?
The last 3 or 4, when they start talking about Michael Jordan losing his dad, they start talking about Steve Kerr having already dealt with that. And
Right.
had he talked to Michael Jordan about it and they hadn't talked. And it just seems like they were going to him a lot about stuff that happened between him and Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't didn't like even when they mentioned, you know, when they won that championship where Steve Kerr hit the game shot. Then
Right.
they showed his speech at Grant Park.
Right.
I just it seemed to me like they started to give a little bit too much attention towards making Steve Kerr seem popular to me. Like
I mean,
I
it's
didn't
Kurt.
get it.
Kurt.
I didn't get
Kurt.
it.
Kurt was always a popular bull. During his tenure here. I mean, I didn't think like he had so much like airtime. I mean, Pippen had just as much airtime. Horace Grant had some time. Who
But
else?
the
Who
difference
coach?
is though, the difference is they put such um, positive connotation around Steve Kerr when they were talking about
I'm
Pippen.
saying, I'm saying, but what negative can you put towards Steve Kerr because he's just a role player? But as
No,
far
no,
as
no.
Pippen,
It's not about what negative you could say about Steve Kerr. It's about what more positive could you have said about Scottie Pippen or Horace Grant or Will Perdue or Bill Winnington or Scott Williams or Steve Burrell or Randy Brain or Ron Harper. It's like so many other people who play a more integral part in those championships than
mm-hmm.
Steve Kerr. And like he was just highlighted. To me, he was highlighted. Now I just don't really understand why.
that was more towards like the last couple episodes,
I
but
mean, if it
but
was any episode, I just feel like he was given to even if you look at how they looked at B.J. Armstrong,
mm-hmm.
because they gave him a significant little part, and I'm glad because I always like B.J. Armstrong. But
Oh yeah,
if you look at how they gave him his moment to talk, and then they gave Steve Kerr his time to talk, they didn't parallel each other. One seemed to be shining a light on Michael Jordan and the Michael Jordan experience, and one seemed to be shining a light on Steve Kerr and what he did for the team.
I mean he did help win a championship for the team by his shot, but also you got to keep in mind that Kerr he's an active NBA coach.
I
He's
get
a
it,
he's a spawn of Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich,
but
and
what
he
does that
has.
have to do with Michael Jordan?
I mean,
Nothing.
he helped Michael win a championship by Mike's assist to him in Game 6 of the 1997 Finals. They also highlighted of their practice fight in which Kerr hit him first, and then
Push,
Mike.
allegedly.
Now Kerr hit him
Kerr
in it.
hit someone first.
Kerr hit him in the chest, and Michael finished it, and plain and simple. And then Michael called him later to apologize for it.
Okay.
So, but I don't understand why you just got this problem with like Steve Kerr having more airtime than everybody else.
I don't think, I wouldn't say I have a problem with it. I just feel like it was the undertone was that of all the people Michael Jordan played with, Steve Kerr is the one we like. That's what I got. That's what I start feeling like.
I'm saying, but what is there not to like about him?
What is there not to like about Horace Grant?
Grant fed Sam Smith all that info about Michael Jordan. That's why he
Allegedly.
wrote the book.
Allegedly.
I mean, Mike said himself. So if Mike speaks on something,
Mike is a snitch. We
it's
already know
set in
Mike.
stone. It's set in stone. If Mike believes
Okay.
it, it's
What
set in
about Bill
stone.
Cartwright?
Bill Cosby yeah, he had a couple speaking like engagements, whatever. But you got to keep in mind that I mean everybody didn't like agree to speak on the documentary. Some people
I
just
know.
chose to just
I,
to just
like
stay clear of it.
I wouldn't say it was a big deal. I mean, I'm not making a big deal out of it. I like Steve Kerr.
And plus, you didn't see the whole documentary anyway, did you?
Yeah, I did. I
Oh
seen all 10 episodes.
no, but like not in real time though.
I seen
You
them in my
you.
time, which is real time. Yeah. So I don't see how that makes a difference at all. I got to watch at the pace that I chose to watch, which was a day later.
I
where I
mean,
don't have to pay for it.
they were showing 2 episodes
Yeah.
every Sunday,
That's what they
and
showed the next day on ESPN.
okay,
Those I would usually watch it the day after, or maybe a Wednesday or Thursday.
okay, but like once we get to like episode 6 or something, you were still like way behind. I was like, why
I
you
wasn't
so
waiting. When y'all got to 6, I was just on 4. I
okay?
had finished 4. I didn't see 5 and 6.
Oh,
So
okay,
I was just 2 episodes behind y'all
right. My whole thing is, why are you 2 episodes behind? Why?
because I wasn't watching it that Sunday night. I had shit to do, and it was gonna be available to me at my leisure. So I wasn't finna let Michael Jordan change my life. I'm sorry. I'm good on that.
I mean, ain't nothing else going on in all our lives right now.
Not in your life, maybe, but I got other shit to do. I can't commit to no TV show like that. I just can't.
Okay.
I do have I don't feel like my respect for Michael Jordan went up or changed. I mean, I still think he's the greatest player to ever do it. I don't think that's an argument that can be had with any player. I still don't feel like he's the greatest of all time. I just don't think that's a possible statistic, a possible measuring stick to even have in a sport. He's the greatest. He's the greatest of his time. You can't argue that. But
well, I said it before. I think it was to Marcus that I thought Michael was the greatest NBA player of all time, but I thought that Kareem was the greatest basketball player of all time. So,
I mean, it's always going to be arguments about what constitutes the greatest. So it's not even worth arguing anymore. It's just everybody's gonna have opinion about it. People gonna try to.
It's just good barbershop talk. It's all it is.
Annoying.
I mean, it's whoever got the best wits to kind of combat the other person's argument. I mean, it's all it is. So
yeah, it's all just a bunch of garbage. After arguing with something for so long, it's a moot point, and I just move on. The fact of the matter is, Michael Jordan is going to, for a very long time, be and a player that nobody can equate to, regardless of how many, stats they proven over time they surpass him and yada yada. That shit don't matter.
Right.
An icon in a way that can't be overshadowed.
Well, right, because once the Masters like crown someone, it is so hard to like uncrown that person. Okay? Like look at baseball. Like everyone still thinks that Babe Ruth was the greatest baseball player of all time, but I don't think Babe Ruth could like play today and be dominant today.
I mean, Jackie Robinson was better than Babe Ruth.
Right, right. I mean, steroids or not, Barry Bonds was better. Ken Griffey Jr. was better.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's so many players other than Babe Ruth, but hey, I mean, that's their great white hope, I guess, right?
Yeah. I think probably one of the I don't think that there's one particular athlete who, most athletes will say Michael Jordan is the athlete's athlete. So I mean, you can't argue that. Right. Especially if you're not out there playing basketball. If you're not playing on a professional level, your opinion really don't even matter.
Oh yeah.
Especially if people who played with him and said he's the greatest of all time. I mean,
oh yeah.
You can't argue that.
Yeah, I mean, some media pundits really take it overboard, like Shannon Sharp. He takes it overboard. Nick Wright, Ryan Hollins. I mean, so many people just take it overboard. But I mean, that's honestly as bad as they go overboard. That's what makes me not like LeBron the way I don't really like him right now. So they just caved so bad for him right now, man. It's just so frustrating. But
yeah, anyway, I get it. I mean, I had my stints feeling like LeBron was the best player of all times and blah blah blah. But truth be told, he ain't. when you talking about playing basketball, he's not the greatest player of all time. He's not.
So
He
you
probably
were just bullshitting back then, right?
no. I mean, there's always gonna be the arguments that could be had. Could he be in an argument? Obviously, he's in an argument. If
Right.
you can argue it, then there's a possibility. But in my opinion, no, he's not. He can't compare to Mike. He hasn't done what Mike did. You know what I'm saying? He changed. Mike did so much for basketball. We don't even need to talk about it.
Right. Right.
LeBron can never do for basketball what Mike has already done. It's not possible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for that simple reason, Mike is better. When you talk about from an athletic standpoint, it's two different things, two different people, two different positions, blah blah blah. And it's just it's just an argument to have, like you say, barbershop to keep the conversation going. But respect to LeBron, you know what I'm saying? He was one of my favorite players for a good period of time. That's now defunct because he's a Laker, and I don't fuck with the Lakers like that.
Okay.
And I just think that that to me that ended his reign going to the Lakers.
I mean, not only him going to the Lakers, but like in my eyes, he haven't really surpassed Kobe.
Yeah, I don't fuck with Kobe though.
I mean, I'm sure. Yes, he is a better player than Kobe, but as far as like NBA achievements, he haven't passed Magic Johnson. He haven't passed Shaq. As far as achievements,
all you can say is rings. That's the only thing you can say. He got more of everything than everybody else. So can't really say
as far as what
everything.
I mean,
he's already beaten just about every Michael Jordan record. So.
Based off longevity, yes, Bron would have all the stats, but as far as like the intangibles, I mean, it's as far as him passing Kobe and Magic, Kareem, he hasn't passed.
I think he passed Magic. I mean, I would say he passed Magic. Would I say he passed Kobe? Probably not. Only because Kobe has that Michael Jordan it factor. That's the only the thing. Everybody will say that he was just cutthroat killer instinct. That's the only thing LeBron argument. If LeBron had the cutthroat killer instinct, people will probably say he is better than Michael Jordan. A lot more people will probably say that. But
yeah,
everybody equates what Kobe's mindset to Jordan's. But
he
played a lot of years and didn't win championships too.
Yeah, but he played 20 years.
LeBron won a lot of championships on Kobe's watch.
Okay, he won 3 on Kobe's watch. He won 3. So and Kobe won 2
on his watch.
A lot of people won on LeBron's watch.
A lot of people lost on won on Kobe's watch too.
Right. As far as Tim Duncan won a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the Warriors, there was more on LeBron's watch versus Kobe's watch because Kobe, he was kind of done winning championships. He was just playing just to kind of prolong his legacy.
Now you're making excuses for him. But
no, I'm not making excuses. I'm not making excuses.
That's an excuse. If he was the greatest in the league, he was still here. That's just like people discounting the Wizards. The Wizards, time Jordan split with the Wizards. Why wasn't that discussed during the documentary? Did he not play for the Wizards? Come on, man. Come on.
Remember, it's called The Last Dance. So the whole documentary was centered on what was leading up to '98. That's it.
So it wasn't a full documentary on Michael Jordan's career. It was just a documentary on the
Bulls season.
On Michael Jordan's career based on the Bulls winning championships.
Right.
So it skews his legacy into a period of time that excludes the period of time afterwards, which really isn't fair.
I mean, like, do you have an idea of why Mike even came back to play for Washington anyway?
Oh yeah, he was supposed to be in management. It didn't work out. They was losing. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go play." I mean, it's kind of common knowledge, but that doesn't change the fact that he still came back and did it.
No, Michael had a management position already prior to coming back, but he had to deal with Abe Poland was to purchase the team from him. So that way, by him going on the team, it would definitely increase the portfolio of the team. So that way, Michael would have had the ability to buy the team. I mean, he would have had like a stake, a stake in it, but he was kind of hoodwinked, and that kind of made him go into a different direction. And him and Bob Johnson had gotten closer. That way he could get the team from Bob Johnson. back then.
Right.
So that's how everything kind of played out that way. But yeah, I mean, he didn't come back just say, "Hey, I'm trying to come back winning championships." He did that as a business position,
Yeah,
not to win
that doesn't change
championships.
the fact that he did it. People will argue that LeBron went to the Lakers as a business decision. So he's still being competitive would have been on the way to probably winning a championship.
Well, he fought with his sports agency to get Anthony Davis on the team. That helps out a lot.
Okay.
If you get one of the top 5 players playing with you.
So
right
we're
now,
saying that that has something to do with it.
As far as why the Lakers are number 1 in the West, because he got Anthony Davis. Of course, that has something to do with it.
So what about the other team in LA?
The Clippers, low management. That's what they're doing. They don't care about the number 1 seed. They're doing low management.
I'm talking about why is it that when LeBron go to a team and get a great player to come and play with him, it's a big deal, but when another player go to a team and they get another great player to come play with them, it's just it don't really it's insignificant.
I'm saying, but that was more organic of what the Clippers did.
What does organic have to do with the fact that there are 2 spectacular players playing on the team? How it happens doesn't matter. The fact that they're there is all that matters.
Yeah, but you still got to look at the actual practices of how the Lakers acquire Anthony Davis. I mean, you got to look at that. What?
Please run us through the practices. Tell us what those practices were.
Remember, Bron's first year. That's why the team was doing bad, because all those players thought like that they were on the hot seat, on like the trading block. So
they were conducting business as usual.
You said what?
So they were conducting business as usual.
Who, the Lakers or the players?
The Lakers organization.
I mean, honestly, everything kind of went down ever since Dr. Buss had died, and now that his kids running the team.
We're going back now.
Dr. Buss died like in, I don't know, 2014, something like that. So ever since he died, man, everything just kind of went downhill as far as the Lakers brand.
Okay.
So, but as far as how they acquired Anthony Davis, remember, I mean, Rich Paul and Bron, they've been trying to do this trade. Right. They've been trying to do this trade for like the longest, and finally, since the NBA kind of put a plant into the Pelicans organization and David Griffin to make sure that they kind of make sure that deal goes through flawlessly, and that's everything went down.
So he was planted.
Right. He was a plant. Like for the Pelicans' troubles and giving up Anthony Davis, they made sure that they got the number 1 pick and getting Zion Williamson. That's
how this all went.
Oh yeah, of course. Remember, the NBA is an entertainment league. I mean, they do stuff behind the scenes, man.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree with that as being a very high possibility. I wouldn't.
I mean,
so how do you explain all of these other teams that got great players on them?
Like who? Every team got great players.
Didn't what's his name from what's the young kid name that just went to Golden State?
Wiggins?
Yeah.
What about him?
He just went to Golden State, right?
Yeah.
How come there's no big hoopla about that?
Because the Warriors are a bad team, and Steph and Clay are not even on the court.
Okay, but that's going to change as soon as they come back.
Exactly, and the Warriors are one more piece away from being a championship contender.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen again.
Because my prediction is that the Warriors will either acquire Karl-Anthony Towns or he trashes there.
Yeah, he trashed.
You know what? He just not cut out to be like an alpha of like his own team.
Yeah, end up like JaVale McGee on the Golden State.
Oh no, he have a way bigger role than that, man.
Oh come on, man. JaVale McGee is a monster. He could lead the league in scoring right now if they wanted him to.
Shit, come on, man.
You don't think so?
No, man.
All he do is catch oops and get close to the basket shots. That's all David Robinson did. That's all Olajuwon did. That's all Kareem did. How come he couldn't? If they went to him every time, which they seem like they do. It seems like he get oops like 3 or 4 times a game. If they really focused on his game, what makes you think he couldn't be a 22 point a night game person? Obviously, they get Anthony Davis to do that, but what makes you think he couldn't score that many points a night?
You said he could lead the league in scoring.
Okay, I mean, it was exaggerating. Okay, but let's say what makes you think he couldn't score 22 points a night?
Do you know how much taxing that is to score 20 points a night after night in an NBA game?
That's taking 11 shots.
That's assuming that you're making them.
Well, I would wonder what his field goal percentage is right now.
I'm sure it's probably, if I was to guess, maybe 60, 65, because all he's doing is dunking.
I agree. So
everything's in the paint. So
that would mean he would need to take, let's say, 17 shots a night.
Yeah, but you're like taking shots away from Anthony Davis, you're taking shots away from LeBron, you're taking shots away from Kyle Kuzma. I mean, you can't just set up an offense for JaVale McGee, and plus he way over the hill anyway.
Yeah, and I was just making the argument that Karl Anthony Towns is no better than JaVale McGee. That's really where I was going with it. And his shooting percentage is 64%.
See, I said 60, 65. So yeah. I was kind of accurate.
So a player like that who typically gets in position to score at the basket could very easily be a 22, 24 points a game person.
He could, but
they don't need him to be. That's just the thing.
Right. I mean, he'll have one of those career nights every 20 games. He'll have a night where he scored 20 points. But to ask him to score 20 points a night, that's asking a lot, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. He's 32 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I saw him play against the Bulls, in which he actually had a triple-double that game, actually. I saw him when he was on the team with John Wall and like some other players, and also Flip Saunders was coaching them. This was back in 2009 when I saw the Bulls play the Wizards at the UC. And JaVale was balling that game. He actually had a triple-double because he had 10 blocks that game. But, Bulls still ended up winning because D Rose, he was still hooping himself. But yeah, man, I mean, JaVale, he was a beast back then. But since then, he's not the same player.
Better.
He's not the same player.
I think he's gotten better.
He's a smarter player.
Yeah, he's definitely a better player.
Yeah.
I think he's a better player.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know why that is, right?
Why?
Because he played with LeBron.
That's the biggest misconception that LeBron makes. All his teammates.
He was trash when he was playing with Golden State. He was doing all kind of stupid shit. He ain't hardly on Shaqtin' a Fool no more.
Well, that's because Steve Kerr cleaned them up, though.
No, he made a lot of mistakes for the Golden State. He was like a clown in Golden State, dude.
It wasn't that many, man. It wasn't that many.
He looked like a clown. Nah, but I mean, I guess my whole point there is that, a player like that with that type of height, jumping ability, even if he got a low shooting percentage, a low shooting range, can score a lot of points. He can score a lot of points if they wanted him to. But even before that, we were talking about how, getting 2 quality people on a team seems to be a big deal whenever LeBron is one of the players, but it happens all over the league, and it doesn't really matter when it happens somewhere else.
Well, other teams don't make a big deal out of it. I mean, because LeBron, he has to be on a stacked team in order to compete. He don't want to compete like that because
that ain't true.
He don't have that. He don't have that old school mentality. Yes, he's not an old school player, but he just don't have that mentality like Kobe and Magic and Michael and Bird. He just don't have it.
So you think Magic had it?
Oh, of course he did.
I don't know. I never got that feel from Magic. I just thought Magic was a great all-around player. He seemed just Magic just seemed to take basketball very casually to me. I never looked at Magic like a killer instinct player. I may have to go back and look at some of his old games, but
I never
Magic really seen him as a fierce competitor.
Oh yeah, of course he was. I mean,
saw him as somebody who was really talented. That his game spoke for itself. I didn't feel like he was a fierce competitor.
Oh yeah. I mean, if he didn't have that fierce nature in him, then he wouldn't have won a championship in his rookie year because once Kareem went down, he played center that game and won it for him. I
I had to
mean,
look
not
at it.
not too many rookies will have like an impact like that. So,
Yeah.
but
You know, it was a different time.
Magic, he would smile in your face, but once like basketball was playing, he would bust your ass.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that he was a rare talent. I never say what I like. I say I just never took him for the killer instinct type of player. I mean, it's only been to me a few people like that. I mean, yeah, Mike, copycat Kobe,
Hmm.
uh, David Robinson to me, that was a killer instinct player. Um, Barkley sometimes. Um, John Starks. Ooh,
John Starks, no,
yeah,
I want to say he was a killer
he wasn't
instinct
that
player.
great, but I mean, sometimes he would.
He just had a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I'll say that. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
he had a
He
chip
had
on
a
the
chip on
shoulder.
his
Yeah,
shoulder.
yeah.
Um, who else? Who else is like that? I mean, it's been some players, some small time players. I think had a big killer instinct. I think Eddie Jones. You remember Eddie Jones?
You know what? Back in our hooping days, man, they used to call me Eddie Jones.
Eddie Jones was nasty, man.
Yeah,
Eddie
yeah, he
Jones was
was.
nasty. He was
Yeah,
nasty. You
yeah.
definitely couldn't be Eddie Jones, but yeah, he was.
No, I used to play like Eddie Jones. That's why they call
Yeah,
me Eddie Jones. Hey, talk to Eric. Ask him which player that they called me back in the day.
I'm
He'll
gonna
tell you Eddie
definitely
Jones.
ask him. But yeah, Eddie Jones, I think he had a killer instinct. He was quiet on the court, but man, he just come through and just dunk on everybody. Like, where
That's
did he even come from?
that's how I was. I was quiet on the court, but I bust your ass.
I used to love watching Eddie Jones.
Yeah.
Kevin Johnson was one of them dudes
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
was quiet.
KJ, yeah.
Um,
I mean Gary
yeah,
Payton. Yeah, he had a
Gary
competitive
Payton,
fire. Yeah.
definitely Gary Payton. Allen Iverson. He just wasn't. I don't know. So I love Allen Iverson. I ain't gonna
He'd
say
have had a basketball IQ like that, but he just had that street ballers mentality.
yeah, he definitely. I mean, he came from my era, so he was definitely something
Yeah.
more fierce. You know what I'm saying? But hey, LeBron, a lot of people say he don't have it. I've definitely seen where he's shown it. It just wasn't consistent enough for people. I guess they expected him to win all his. Uh, every time he went to the finals, they expected him to win every single time, and it's like, I mean, most
No, we didn't. No, we didn't expect him to win like all his finals. We just expected him to win most of his finals, which he just didn't do.
yeah, I mean, how many people have went to the finals as many times in a row as he had?
Yeah,
Nobody, I don't think.
but
Right?
if you go to the finals that times in a row, then at least
I
win
think
most
that
of them.
just to me that just speaks more to the level of competition and on the coast that you on.
Yeah, but if you're not challenged,
Right, that's what I'm saying. I
if
don't think he was challenged on the East. Everybody always say the East is the weaker conference. So
right.
why would you expect him to go to the West, which is the stronger conference, and win more?
No, but the fact that all right, it was more competition out west. Every round was a dogfight, and still have that gas in the tank to like knock off like the best team in the East.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're saying that, a lot of people will argue that the best team in the East is probably top 4 or top 5 in the West.
Okay,
Probably in the top
okay,
4, top. So
even right, even that, but still, you had a cakewalk all the way to the finals. You were just playing scrimmage games all the way up to the finals, and
that's not
then
fair to say because Golden
yes,
State swept their way through the finals.
well, they were just that dominant
That's what I'm saying, though. So to me,
for that
if you
time.
had to face that team, you was already on the collision course that you were already gonna lose because you were, in that case, they a 5th seed versus their 1st seed. So if for LeBron to get even one victory out of there is a huge deal, in my opinion. You're saying that a 5th seed be the first a 1st seed.
Well, but still, like even him going to the finals, he was rarely in a position to have home court advantage.
I think his Miami days are
especially coming from the East. You gotta have home court advantage. You got
okay.
to. He just failed to do that.
I think that his Miami days could be more heavily critiqued than his Cavalier days.
Why?
But it was 3 years there. They won 2, right?
What,
Yeah, it was 3
Cleveland?
years there. They won 2 out of 3 in Miami.
They won 2 out of 4.
Okay, 2 out of 4. So he was 50% in Miami, and when he came to back home to Cleveland, where did they go? 3 times in a row, and he lost 2 and won 1, right?
He went he went
4
he went
times?
4. He went 4 in a row. 1 out of 4.
1 out of 4, and he lost 2. What? All 3 was to Golden State.
Yep. Right. He won his first one that he lost. He lost Kyrie and Kevin Love, and the other 2 he lost. KD was the MVP.
Okay, so he won 1 before KD got to Golden State.
Right.
Right. Okay. So he lost 1, won the next one, and then lost the next 2.
Right.
So wait, Golden State won 2 in a row? Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you can't take it away from him. He won against a better team. He won that one. He won. He won clearly.
The fact that he went to the finals all that time, he is all-time great. I would give him credit for that. But since he didn't seal the deal, that's why he can't be number 1.
Yeah, I don't think he would be number 1. I don't think there's nothing that could be done to make him number 1. I don't think that there's no feat that he could have accomplished to push him past Jordan. Even if he had won 6 championships, I don't think people would be saying that he was better than Mike.
The way he went out against the Mavericks, that pretty much kind of like what's the start of people just saying, you know what, okay, he can't be as great as Michael. And plus, when he lost against Dallas, that was his second finals that he lost because the first one he was with the Cavs against the Spurs.
Well, that was garbage anyway. You can't remember one player on that team? Carlos Boozer. Who was on that team? Virgil. Lenny Hughes. What's his name?
Ilgauskas, Danielle Marshall, Boobie Gibson.
Trash.
Anton Jameson.
He was past his prime. He was
Virgil, Ilgauskas. The coach was Mike Brown. But yeah. I mean, still like
overachieving in that.
But still, that Cavs team won. I believe they won 60 games.
Yeah, I mean that's to me that just speaks on how weak the East was. I don't see how they won. I mean,
now had one of the key members of the Spurs gotten hurt and the Cavs ended up winning that series, then y'all would have gave LeBron all the credit in the world. But since he got swept, people just want to say, you know what, he really didn't lose that finals because they had no business being there. Like, motherfucker, they was the number 1 seed in the East. They won 60 games. Of course they supposed to have been there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to take any credit away from the Mavericks. I definitely won't do that. But what I will say is people have always said that the East is weaker than the West, at least for the past 15, 20 years. So if that's the case, then anytime any East team beats the West, the odds were stacked against them. They were always the underdog.
Yeah, because since Michael left, no Eastern team won until – I want to say
Boston.
No, it was Miami with Wade and Shaq. Yeah. And
so I mean, I don't even remember who they played. Who did they play?
Miami.
Yeah.
Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah, they played Dallas. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's just to me,
No. Actually, no. It was the Pistons. The Pistons won, and then Miami won a couple years later.
Yeah, right, because they beat
the Lakers.
The Lakers. Yeah, they beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
Was that Kobe's Lakers?
Yeah, it was Kobe's Lakers. Kobe and no, it was Shaq's Lakers.
So Kobe was on the team, and he was not the leader of his team.
Oh, Shaq was the alpha. Shaq was the alpha. Yeah.
When has LeBron not been the alpha on his team?
He was an alpha for 2011. He won the alpha then.
Who was 2011?
It was Miami and
Nah, he was an alpha every game.
No, in that series he wasn't the alpha. I mean, Jason Terry was more the alpha of that whole series than LeBron James because Jason
They
Terry was
lost.
talking. Who you talking about?
2011 they lost, right?
Yeah, right. Miami Heat lost. Right.
Yeah,
Jason
but who was the
Terry
alpha of the team? I'm not saying who was the alpha of the series. Who was the alpha of the Miami team?
of the Miami team.
Yeah.
It was Wade.
All right, man. Moving along.
I mean, who you want me to say? Chris Bosh? I mean, what?
Of course it was LeBron. Even if
Eddie
he was
House?
off his game, the expectation was always on LeBron to lead the team to victory, whatever team he's been on.
Right. He came in as the alpha, but as the series went on, he wasn't playing like an alpha. Like Wade, he was trying to carry the team since he kind of knew that Brown was lacking. So
yeah, I mean I ain't gonna take that away from him. I mean Wade is that dude. LeBron had his ups and downs. I mean, he's always been an exciting player to play, but I mean early in his career and midway through, he had some sucker moments, and that's pretty much what you're talking about. Against Dallas, he suckered out, and everybody's talking about his hamstring. What was that? What series was that where he dehydrated or something?
Oh, that was the Spurs. That was in
That was
2014.
That I don't think I think honestly, watching those games, those Spurs games that season, I don't think any team ever put together could have beat that Spurs team. They were unbelievably well put together.
I mean, they were pretty much the same team, though.
I don't care.
They were the same team because Miami beat them the year prior.
Man, look,
so they were the same team.
When that team was playing, when in the finals, Miami versus was it the Spurs? Yeah, it was the Spurs. The Spurs in Miami, when they played in the finals, and they smoked Miami, right? They beat them 4-1, I think, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That team was so incredibly dominant off the dribble and behind the 3-point line.
It was a ball movement. And right. Man, they was hot off series from the 3-point line.
Man, it seemed like every shot they took was going in. Mm-hmm. They was just like NBA Jam on fire. And when I watched that series, I was like, ain't no way in the world they could come back or win a game against this team. I knew that wasn't possible. That team was incredible. I still feel like I haven't seen any team play that well together in the NBA ever.
That's why Pop likes those international players because they're more like coachable.
Yeah, they listen. They actually play the game well. I mean, Golden State came along, and they had some really remarkable games. But as far as a team effort, like them first championships that they won, I think they were really team driven. But like after that, Steph Curry started getting way too much attention, and it just seemed like he carried the weight of the team unnecessarily too much. I mean, he did it, but it took away from their team game a little bit.
Right.
So because they didn't need KD. They did.
Oh yeah, no, they needed KD.
I don't think so. They got rid of people, so they needed.
They did because when Cleveland came back 3-1 in 2016, they had that mental edge over Golden State, so they had to make a splash move, and like get someone to kind of negate LeBron's production. So they had like the perfect guy to do it, which is KD.
I guess you can argue that. I just think that team that beat them the first time,
right?
They had Trevor Ariza, right? Didn't they have Trevor Ariza?
Who the Warriors? State. No, Ariza was with he was with Houston.
They had some guard.
Harrison Barnes.
Barnes, right? Harrison. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I thought he played really well in their system.
He played well in 2015 and 2016. Like those shots that he was hitting in 2015, he wouldn't hit those in 2016.
Yeah.
So he was a major factor and why Golden State kind of failed. And plus Golden State had key injuries. So
everybody gonna throw that out there.
Bogut got hurt. Draymond got suspended one game, and Iguodala, he was having back spasms, and I mean, it was just a perfect storm for like Cleveland to come back and win that series.
Yeah. Well, anyway, man, the bottom line is he I don't think he's the greatest all time. I might argue it just for fun, but yeah, He's not Michael Jordan. I don't like Michael Jordan as much as I used to growing up, but it's undeniable how great a talent he was. It's like Michael Jackson. You only got to like him, but billions of other people did. So that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But man, that's basketball, dude. I'm tired of talking about this shit. I'm talking about this shit for 5 weeks, man. Come on, man. Is we let basketball die for? Can we put that on rice? Can we put that away?
Yeah, man.
Football not coming back, and we not talk about sports for a change. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I say we got about 20 more minutes or something, or I don't know how much time you got, but yeah. What else? What else?